When will you likely get your refund? Well, this is the 2025 IRS tax refund schedule update, and basically letting you know when you're likely to receive your refund. Could there be any delays? If so, why? All of those things, plus some additional insights on your taxes this year that you may need to consider. Now, if you have not already filed your taxes, it'll be a link available below to get access to some experts without being overcharged, but still positioning you to maximize your refund, keyword legally. Let's go. So let's talk about the 2025 IRS tax refund schedule, the IRS layoffs, and could they actually delay certain refunds. So sudden layoffs and firings, you probably already have heard of staffs in many agencies. It's made social media news, all of those things. But taxpayers and tax preparers and professionals are definitely alarmed by the latest staffing cuts at the IRS right in the middle of tax season. Now, those cuts were made to people who were recently hired. In my honest opinion, I think they overhired people when it came to the IRS, because when I realized they were hiring about 20,000 people, I was like, what in the world are they about to do to hire that many people to file taxes? So for them to get the cuts now, I'm not, too moved by it, because I'm like, okay, they really overhired previously, and the amount of cuts that they're doing still doesn't outweigh the amount of hiring that they did. So I think they got more than enough to get the job done. That's just me. So could the move delay income tax refunds? Well, only time will tell, but I don't believe that it should. And if so, very minimal. Now, here's some things that we'll cover. The Trump administration firing the 6,700 IRS employees during tax season. IRS plans to cut thousands of employees by mail, and IRS workers in Syracuse abruptly fired. So there's a lot of things that are going on. You just got to stay tuned and see what parts affect you. Not everything affects you. Not everything should be things that you should even be concerned with. But figure out the things that apply to you, could apply to you, or someone that you know. Get what you can from it, adjust, adapt, and solve whatever problems come from it. But don't whine, complain, none of that. It's opportunities in these times. And a lot of times, if you look at it with the right perspective, you'll get a better interpretation. So if you're wondering how long it may take to get your refund when finally submitting your income tax return, then you're one of many. For almost 15 years, the question that they get the most is, when will you get your refund? So we're going to dive straight into that. We're going to talk about the biggest tax credit many people miss, which is the EITC, Earned Income Tax Credit, and how that could possibly cause delays. It shouldn't right now, but we'll cover those things as well. So basically, if you just want to know when you're getting your refund, it'll be a screenshot opportunity so you can understand exactly how to map out when you're likely to get your refund. But first, keep in mind that you need to wait until you get all of your documents from every entity that you did business with in some way, shape, form, fashion in the previous year. Sometimes people file prematurely, and as a result, they leave money on the table. So never fall victim to rushing on filing your taxes. Otherwise, you may leave money on the table. I tell people all the time, stop filing just with your last paycheck stuff. Stop rushing to file just because you can in January and they haven't even started processing returns, and now you filed early and a week later you get some documents or some information that you could not include because you did not have them on your tax refund, and now you realize, dang, can I amend? Well, you shouldn't have filed so early. Right now is a good time where many people may have received majority of their documents, but it's all about figuring out, okay, what documents do I not have that could possibly legally lower my tax liability, which means the amount that I'm supposed to pay is less. And if you have a lower tax liability, then that is what positions you to get a larger refund. And if you qualify for certain credits, that is what positions you for certain refunds. So just keep those things in mind. Now, most Americans have a pretty simple tax return, so you're one who can likely file pretty soon if your tax refund is pretty simple. Just a W-2, cool. That's all you have. But some people have more complex things. But if you have a W-2 and a side gig, then for those people, I honestly recommend making sure that you have all of your documents. And more importantly, what people fail to realize when it comes to a side gig is that having a side gig also includes additional tax deductions. People focus so much on the money and them making money and having a side hustle and being able to have more cash flow coming in to do whatever it is they want to do, that they forget that if you have additional income coming in from a side business, a side gig, some type of contract work, then it's tax deductions associated with it. What do I mean? If you're using your vehicle to make side streams of income, then there's a good chance that you can write off miles that you drive. So if you drove 10,000 miles for the year and the tax deduction that you get from that is 60 cents. I'm just throwing the number out there, 60 cents per mile. This year is like 70 cents. So, 60 cents per mile. What that says is, okay, if I drove 10,000 miles for business, I'm going to be able to write off $6,000 in the form of a tax deduction. But many people miss that because they were only focused on the side gig, not realizing, oh, this came with tax deductions. You also will be able to write off portions of your phone bill, portions of your travel, portions of your meals, things of that nature, and sometimes up to 100% depending on how you do it. So really understand the importance of a side gig in association with the tax deductions, because many people are looking for a larger refund, but not knowing that you already had the efforts and the actions necessary to look at your old receipts. Receipts equal cash. Never forget that. Receipts equal cash. If you have old receipts throughout the past year that were in conjunction with you in pursuit of a profit, side business, side gig, contract work, whatever, you position yourself for tax deductions. Very important. Very important. So, most people have basic refunds, but they sleep on that. And some child tax credits, maybe a mortgage, few minor additions, that falls into the category of what most people are likely to get. But here's the short end. Depending on when taxpayers file their returns, they can often receive their federal tax refund payment within 10 to 21 days. 10 to 21 days, especially if you direct deposit. If the IRS starts accepting returns at the end of January, as they usually do, which they did, that means that someone who is able to file right away and or do a refund can opt to see the refund as early as mid or late February. And there have been people who have been receiving their refund mid-February. You let me know if you've already received yours, or if you're someone who's still anticipating receiving yours and you may receive it late February or March, whenever. If they have it direct deposited, because direct deposited is how you minimize the time delay that can come from getting a paper check or paper filing. So specifically, doing an electronic filing with direct deposit usually creates the fastest way to get your return. Hopefully that makes sense. And that's without including the expensive tax refund loan or other similar product. And we say expensive because so many people are so anxious to get the money that they're willing to take a loan out. And then you don't even know if certain things could possibly change when you actually get your refund. So now you took out a loan, but your refund is less than what you expected. And now you still have the obligation of paying back that loan with interest. And sometimes you might have to pay a little bit more just because you got it early. So if you can figure out a way to make sure that you're patient and say, I'm not going to get the loan just trying to get it right now, the instant gratification, then do so. Strongly encouraged. But hey, I'm not, your representative. I'm just letting you know that that's my perspective and why. So if you have multiple forms of income and certain assets and certain family situations, you'll likely wait a bit longer for your tax return or tax documents to come in. Most of you have probably received your tax refund by now, but it could be a delay if you have earned income tax credit, child tax credit, and a few other credits that require confirmation. And the PATH Act has been listed. That's basically, confirmation process that they go through to make sure nobody is doing anything unlawfully, filing things illegally, double claiming children, all different types of things that take place. So here's the chart you were looking for in terms of the dates. So get your screenshots ready so that way you can have an understanding of what you're likely to expect. But don't take these dates as exact predictions. All taxpayers have different tax return document income scenarios are totally different, and it just varies based on when your return is accepted. So get your screenshots ready, but here's what it basically covers. If the IRS accepts your e-file return by the date on the left, then the direct deposit refund may be received as early as 10 days after the e-file accepted. E-file, but paper check, mail, things of that nature, a week after that. So it's faster if you e-file and do direct deposit, obviously. The IRS started accepting returns on January 27th. Screenshot opportunity. If your return was accepted on January 27th, then you may have already received your refund by those dates on the right side. And the asterisks represent if you had a child tax credit. So if you didn't have a child tax credit or basically the earned income credit, then it would possibly be a little bit sooner. But if you did, then, expect that later date just based on certain confirmations that need to take place. So look at all of these dates. I'm not going to bore you with reading each and every one. However, if you look at the dates, you'll see March 10th, okay, 21 days later, could be March 28th, give or take. And actually, that's not even 21 days. That's like more like 18, but you get the point. They said 10 to 21 days. Could be longer, could be shorter. It just all varies. But these are screenshot opportunities. If you know you're planning on filing and you have not filed, then you can look to see, okay, I want to file by the 24th so I can expect my return mid-March. Okay, I want to file by March 10th so I can expect my return before April. So just think about the dates of when you like to receive it, and this can also give you a gauge to which one you want to file. And again, if you have not already filed, check out the link in the description because it can position you to save money when you get your taxes filed, but get access to experts and position you to maximize your refund legally year after year. Let's keep going. Screenshot opportunity. And again, like I stated, those asterisks represent returns with an earned income tax credit or child tax credit that may have refunds delayed until March to verify the credits. Filing during peak season can also cause a delay as well. So if you're filing late March, early April, or through April 15th, when everybody's trying to rush in before that deadline, then boom, you position yourself to have a delay as well. And here's the delay based on people who file a little bit later. Whether you did an extension, you just filed late, or you live overseas and you are automatically gifted an extension, then here are the dates for that as well. So screenshot this. If you filed on April 21st, then you're likely to get it May 2nd or May 9th, give or take. All the way down to May 19th being accepted, and it goes from there. Now, if your IRS income tax refund is delayed after you file, you can go to your tax professional or simply go to the Where's My Refund tool. They also have an IRS app that you can utilize, and this allows you to get an idea of when you're likely to receive. So several factors can be determined when a taxpayer might receive his or her tax refund, including how early is the return filed, if the taxpayer is claiming those credits, whether the return is e-filed or sent by mail, and whether the taxpayer has existing debts to the federal government. So understanding whether you owe or not plays a part as well, because if you owed anything, then part of that money will be taken and pretty much given to pay back what you owe. So just keep those things in mind. So here are the dates, here are the updates. If you have a side business, side gig, do not leave money on the table by not claiming certain receipts, being scared to ask your tax professional, what all you can claim. And truth be told, they should be asking you those qualifying questions so they can say, okay, did you do certain things? And now you go and figure out where you may be leaving money on the table, miles you may have driven. I had to do this and realize, wow, I would have left a $7,000 worth of tax deductions on the table had I not understood the importance of business opening up opportunities for tax deductions. So keep all of these things in mind. Hopefully this video served you well. Hopefully you got your screenshots. Stay tuned. I'll be doing more similar updates and just giving you things that can help you from a standpoint of cash flow, credit, crypto. That's all I got. Mr. Smith, signing out. Salute.